Hi, this is Trevor Conquergood. Welcome to this week's RNK Software Club's video for the week. And the topic for this week is about TrueType fonts or OpenType fonts and how you can use them with the Floriani software for extra letter styles and also cool sort of source for graphics like clip art. And so we're going to go ahead and pop over to the Floriani workspace. And TTF stands for TrueType font. And there's TrueType fonts and there's OpenType fonts, and both of them can, work with the Floriani software. And essentially, these are the ones that you have installed in Windows. It's possible to add new ones to your computer, but your computer probably came loaded with lots of them. And so the idea is if you click on your text tool and you start a new text segment, it's going to always remember whatever font you used last. And notice here in the box that it says Times New Roman. And all of these options are actually options that came from Windows because I have the TTF sort of like letter option turned on. If I uncheck that, then all the letter styles changed, and these are the built-in fonts that were created for and I guess curated to be successful as embroidery. Some of the TTF fonts could be very thin and not necessarily successful at all sizes, so you have to have a little bit of knowledge when you start using them. But that said, usually we can tell right away what looks good and what doesn't, and so essentially you just scroll through here to choose one of these new fonts, click on it and click apply, and the software will update the stitching, and essentially it's auto digitizing that font into embroidery, and it can do it on the fly as you change to a different one and a different one and a different one. The software will update and create new sort of embroidery stitches. So the cool thing about this is there's another way of adding it. So right now we're using the text tool and we're sort of checking it, and that basically converts it into embroidery instantly. But sometimes you want to do something different. And so if you click over on the text tool, notice that the sort of sixth option here is called Import TrueType Font Artwork. Now, you might also notice that the last option over here is called Create a New Font. And that tool you may or may not have. Because this is something that doesn't come with FTCU. The first 6 tools, all of these everyone should have. The last one here, you'll only have this Create a Font tool if you own the Lettering Master software. And we can talk about that in a different video. But for today, we're talking about the last option in the kind of ones with FTCU. It's called Import TrueType Font Artwork. And when I click on that, it's a little bit of a different workflow. So I get a box where I could type in here my name and choose a font. And so now when I select the font, I get kind of a little window that I can use to browse and see the fonts, scroll through them, find one that you want to create into embroidery. And then when you click on it to select it, it becomes, over on the right, you have different options, right? If I get Arial, I can go narrow or bold italic or black oblique. And each font may have more than one style. So this is one way that you can get access to, the different styles. You can also choose the size. This will be like text sizes and points, but I'm not sure it really matters because once you bring the artwork on your screen, you can set any size pretty much you want to. But so we'll do Arial rounded in bold oblique and say okay and put my name on there. And so what it does is it brings the artwork on the screen and it leaves it for me to decide how to embroider it. Maybe I would rather do a satin stitch outline for the letter T, instead of filling it in the middle. Or maybe you want to have both, in which case you could click on copy and paste. And now basically the one that sews first, I could make it to be a fill and maybe even change its color. and so that you could have kind of like a different style of embroidery. So when you bring the artwork in yourself, it's really just a piece of artwork, and you get to create the stitching, on your own sort of creativity, I guess. But it really is a great source for artwork. Look at all the cool little symbols that are on my screen. Well, these all came with Windows. When I use the import TrueType font artwork, they're called Wingdings, and they're down, in the list down towards the bottom under W. I have Wingdings and Wingdings 2 and Wingdings 3. I'm not sure if you'll have all the exact ones, but I don't remember adding any of these. I'm pretty sure they just came with my, I guess I have Windows 10 here. But if I choose Wingdings and then I say OK, and I put the word Trevor in Wingdings, who knows what you're going to get, because they're Wingdings, not letters. And so I guess that's Trevor in Wingdings. And so now comes kind of the question, how do you find them? Or, I guess one idea might be to click on the tool and then, start typing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and you can even do them in upper and lower, because they're different. They'll have different symbols associated with them. And so there I did capital A, B, C, D, F, and lowercase, and see how it's totally different stuff. And so it's kind of cool. This way you can, they're great sources for like little clip arts. And then you can, just select the little airplane and click on the standard fill tool and it'll fill it in. Or maybe you want to do it as a auto satin and give it kind of more dimension to it. So that's kind of how it really works, you guys. It's TrueType fonts can be a great source for artwork to create little embroideries from. There's lots of them if you want to go on the internet. The one thing I'll say about, other than typing in ABC and then like literally typing out the whole alphabet to find out what all the symbols are, there is an easier way, and it's very helpful even for when you're trying to access like the European characters that might not be on your keyboard, or with the little accents over the top. So what I'm going to show you now is something that comes with Windows. You'll need to click on like your Windows Start menu down at the bottom and just search for the word character map. That's the name of the Windows program that you can open. It opens up a little window. Notice that I have it set on Wingdings, and I can easily scroll through here and say, oh, what I really wanted was that, special cross. So I click on it and say select. And if you're like, I think I also want like the, yin yang symbol to go with my cross, well, you can select that too. And then when you've got everything you want kind of all laid out, you click on copy. And so now if I go, this is Wingdings. So now if I come back over to the software and I click back on import TrueType font artwork, and I'm on Wingdings, if I paste, so I'm just going to get rid of those letters and then right click to paste. Or you could use Control V as in Victor on your keyboard. If you don't know that, the Control key plus the letter C is in Charlie for copy, and Control V is in Victor for paste. So either way, but now if I paste and put Wingdings, then I will get specifically what I wanted, which was the cross and the yin yang. Although I've got it in the oblique, so now my yin yang and my cross are tilted over to the side a little bit, but that's okay. Maybe that's what you wanted. So that you get the idea, though, that there's a great source of clip art in your computer, and that character map is a great way if you just want to go to one of your more sort of like larger letter fonts where it has all the cool symbols in there. And if you're like, I really need that A with the accent above it, you just click on it to select it. I can kind of click here and backspace to get rid of the cross on the other one. So now I just have that A, and I select copy. And then if I wanted to even just use the regular text tool, so I click on my regular embroidery text, it brings up the words my text. And now I'll set my TrueType fonts to be Times New Roman. And I'll come into the character box, get rid of what was there, and right click to paste. Or like I said, Control letter V. Yeah. And then when I click apply, the embroidery becomes the embroidered A with the fancy accent over the top of it. So that is something that's really cool about the Floriani software, is that you can access these TrueType font letters and TrueType font symbols and characters. And so I hope you enjoyed this week's R&K Software Club's video for the week. Until next week, have a great day and bye for now.